series on operating systems. Myself, Dr. Prakash Achunji. In this session, I will be covering memory management. In memory management, we will be discussing about swapping, contiguous memory allocation, segmentation, paging, and also the structure of page table. We will study some examples of Intel and also ARM architectures. The main objectives of memory management are to provide a detailed description of various ways of organizing the memory hardware, to discuss various memory management techniques including paging and also segmentation, to provide a detailed description of the Intel Pentium which supports both pure segmentation and also segmentation with paging. Basics about memory management. The program must be brought from the hard disk into main memory and placed within a process for it to be run. The program cannot be executed in the hard disk. The program must be brought from hard disk into main memory for execution. Main memory and registers are only storage CPU can access directly. The CPU is able to access the main memory and also the registers directly for processing. In this case, the registers are faster and main memory is slow. Memory unit only sees a stream of addresses, read request, address plus data and also write request. Register access in one CPU clock or less because registers are faster. Main memory can take many cycles causing a stall. This is also called as memory stall. Cache sits between main memory and CPU registers and its speed is higher than the main memory but slower than the CPU registers. Production of memory required to ensure correct operation. Base and limit registers. A pair of base and limit registers define the logical address space. A CPU must check every memory access generated in user mode to be sure it is between base and also limit for that user. As shown in this diagram, the main memory is having the operating system in the top and we are having the three processes and some space is free here. The base register stores the starting address of the process. Here it is 300040 and we are having the limit register. This limit register stores the length of this process. Therefore, if you add the base register value and limit register value, we get the address of the next process, that is 420940. That is, if you add 300040 plus and 120900, we get the 420940. Regarding the hardware address production, every address generated by the CPU is first compared with the base register value. If the value is greater than or equal to the base register, then it is allowed to next stage. Otherwise, we generate the error message. That is, it is a trap to the operating system. It is also called as monitor error or addressing error. Then again, the address generated must be less than the base plus limit. That is, base plus length of that particular process. Then, if this condition is okay, then the address will be sent to the memory. Otherwise, the error is generated. That is the trap to the operating system. Address binding. Programs on disk ready to be brought into memory to execute form an input queue without support must be loaded into address 0. It is inconvenient to have first user process physical address always at 0. Further, address is represented in different ways at different stages of a program's life. Source code addresses usually are symbolic. Compiled code addresses bind to relocatable addresses. That is, example is 14 bytes from this module or 14 bytes from the segment, 14 bytes from the page, etc. Linker or loader, which we have studied in the system software subject, will bind relocatable addresses to absolute addresses. Example here 74014. Each binding maps one address space to another. Binding of instructions and data to memory. Address binding of instructions and data to memory addresses can happen at three different stages. One is compile time. If memory location known a priori, that is, if the memory location is known in advance, then absolute code can be generated. Must recompile the code if the starting address or starting location of program changes. Load time. Must generate relocatable code if memory location is not known at compile time. Loading means transferring the program from secondary memory to main memory. Execution time, or we can call it as a runtime. Binding delayed until runtime if the process can be moved during its execution from one memory segment to another. For this, we require the hardware support for address maps. Example, the base and limit registers which you studied in this memory chapter. Let us see the multi-step processing of a user program. In this case, there are three timings. One is called as compile time, where the program is compiled. Second one is load time, where the program is loaded from secondary memory to main memory. Third one is execution time, or we call it as a runtime, where the program is executed. In the compile time, the source program, which is available in the form of either high-level language like C language, C++, Java, etc., is compiled by the compiler and we generate the object module. If the source program is available in the form of assembly code, then we use the assembler, then the object module is generated. In this case, we call it as a assembly time instead of compile time. Then once the object code is generated or object module is generated, it is linked with the other object modules by the linkage editor, and we generate this load module. Then other system library files like header files are taken together and they are loaded by the loader and it is transferred to main memory. During the runtime, the program loaded by the loader and other dynamically loaded system library files, they are linked using the dynamic linking technique, and we create the in-memory binary memory image, and this program is executed. During the load time, the program along with all the header files will be transferred to main memory, and during the runtime or execution time, the program is actually executed. Logical versus physical address space. The concept of a logical address space that is bound to a separate physical address space is central to proper memory management. Logical address generated by the CPU, also referred to as virtual addresses. Physical addresses, address seen by the memory unit. Later I will study how to convert the given logical address or virtual address into physical address using the technique such as paging and also segmentation. Logical and physical addresses are the same in compile time and load time address binding schemes. Logical or virtual and physical addresses differ in execution time address binding schemes. Logical address space is a set of all logical addresses generated by the program. The physical address space is a set of all physical addresses generated by a program. Memory management unit or MMU, hardware device that at runtime maps virtual to physical address. Many methods are possible, and we study these techniques in the paging and also segmentation. To start, consider a simple scheme where the value in the relocation register is added to every address generated by a user process at the time it is sent to memory. Base register is now called as a relocation register. In the MS-DOS on Intel 8086 architecture, that is 8086, 186 like 80x86 architectures, uses 4 relocation registers. The user program deals with logical addresses. It never sees the real physical addresses. The execution time binding occurs when reference is made to location in memory. Logical address bound to physical address. Let us see how dynamic relocation is done using a relocation register. Let us see the diagram here. The CPU generates a logical address such as 346 here. This is an example. And the relocation register or base register stores the value as 14000. And these two addresses are added. And the new address generated is 14346. Then this address is sent to main memory. And this relocation register along with this adder, this component becomes our memory management unit. Similarly, if one more address is generated such as say 100, then this 100 will be added to 14,000 and the new address is 14,100. In the dynamic relocation, routine is not loaded until it is called or until it is requested. Better memory utilization, unused routine or unused program or process is never loaded. All routines kept on the hard disk in the relocatable load format. Useful when large amounts of code are needed to handle infrequently occurring cases. For this, no special support from the operating system is required, and it is implemented through the program designed by the user. OS can help by providing libraries to implement dynamic linking. The difference between the dynamic linking and static linking is that the linking takes place during the runtime, it is called as dynamic. If the linking takes place during the compile time, it is called as static linking. Static linking, system libraries and program code combined by the loader into the binary program image. Dynamic linking postponed until execution time, or we can call it as a runtime. Small pieces of code such as stub used to locate the appropriate memory resident library routine. Stub replaces itself with the address of the routine and executes the routine. Operating system checks if the routine is in processor's memory address. If not, in address space, add to the address space. Dynamic linking is particularly useful for libraries such as header files. System, also known as shared library, because header files are shared by the multiple programs, and we can use it applications such as patching the system libraries and also versioning. Swapping. Swapping means transferring of programs between the hard disk and main memory during the program execution. A process can be swapped temporarily out of memory into a backing store and then brought back into memory for continued execution. Total physical memory space of processors can exceed physical memory. Backing store. Fast hard disk large enough to accommodate copies of all memory images for all users must provide direct access to these memory images. Rollout and roll-in. Swapping variant used for priority-based scheduling algorithms. In the scheduling part, we discussed about the various algorithms such as priority, SJF, first come first served, and also round robin. And if the swapping technique is used for the priority-based algorithm, it is called as rollout and also roll-in. Lower priority process is swapped out, so higher priority process can be loaded and also executed. Major part of swap time is transfer time. Total transfer time is directly proportional to the amount of memory swapped. In the system, maintains a ready queue of ready-to-run processes which have memory images on disk. This is a diagram representing the swapping. Here in the memory part, we are having the operating system along with the user space, and we are having the backing store, or you can call it as a hard disk here. Suppose if the main memory is full, containing the operating system and also user space, during this time, if we want to load the new process, then the memory space is not available. We have to swap one of the process from main memory to hard disk. Then you have to bring the new process from hard disk into main memory. In this example, in the first step, we transfer one program or one process from the main memory into the hard disk. This process is called as swap out. In the main memory, there might be n number of processes. Out of the n number of processes, you have to select one of the process. In this case, we can call it as the page. The process which is selected for the swapping is called as victim process, or we can call it as the victim page if we are using the paging technique. Then the new process P2, will be brought from secondary memory to main memory, and it is called as swap in. So in the swapping, we face some problems. Does the swapped out process need to swap back into same physical address? It depends on the address binding method, that is static binding or dynamic binding, etc. Plus, we have to consider the pending I/O to and from process memory space. Modified versions of swapping are found on many systems such as Unix, Linux, and also Windows. Swapping is normally disabled, started if more than threshold amount of memory allocated, disabled again once memory demand reduces below the threshold. The context switch time also includes the swapping. Context switch time including the swapping. If next processes to be put on CPU is not in memory, need to swap out process and back and swap in target process. Context switch time can then be very high. Example, 100 MB process swapping to hard disk with transfer rate of 50 MB per second. Therefore, we require for 50 MB per second, we require 2 seconds, and that comes out to be 2000 milliseconds. Plus swapping of same size process. Total context switch swapping component time is 4000 milliseconds. 2000 plus 2000 milliseconds, 4000, or it is 4 seconds. And you can reduce size of memory swapped by knowing how much memory really being used here. System calls to inform OS of memory used via request memory and also the release memory. Thank you. In the next class, we'll discuss about contiguous memory allocation. Thank you.